All right, Mr. Cherry, can you hear me? See me? How are you doing today? Doing good. Thanks you for asking. So, what can I help you with today? Okay. When was this? And how bad was the pain initially when you fell? Okay. On a scale of 1 to 10, what is the pain currently? Okay. Are you having any issues with flexibility or movement? Okay. Let's go through a few exercises very quickly to test your range of motion. So the first, if you could hold up your affected hand, just make a fist as much as you can, open it as far as you can, as wide as you can. Stop or tell me when it hurts, if there's any pain. Okay. The next one I want you to do is testing our range of motion. So if you can touch your fingertips, or if that, tell me when it's stiff or painful and stop there. Okay. And then for the final test, if you could face your palm out towards me and gently, very gently, pull your fingers back to see how far you can stretch them. Stop when there's any pain or tell me when there's any pain. You should have a good range of motion, or is there sensitivity and pain? Okay. So you mentioned you have been taking over the counter pain medication for this. Okay. And has the swelling gone down over the last 2 days? Okay. So, what I'd like you to continue doing is resting that hand. I'm not sure what your line of work is, but if you can avoid anything that's going to aggravate it, whether that's gripping anything, holding anything really tight, picking up any heavy objects, please avoid that. That's we don't want you to injure it further. You should, yes, no more yard work or being very careful. Uh, but no, you likely just have a very mild sprain or you slightly bruised some of the muscles in your hand. I don't believe you've broken any of your metacarpal or your wrist or any of the other bones in your hand. You have a good range of motion, even though it's lessened and your swelling has gone down. So that's a great sign. I'd like to recommend, and you can, over the next few days, as long as you rest and avoid any activities that hurt your hands, you should see continual improvement. If you don't, please schedule another appointment. And that's something I can send you a calendar invite, and you can pick a time that works for you within that if you should need to. And then I'll give you a few basic stretches to go through to help with some of your mobility. If that doesn't go away or improve in the next 2 to 5 days, these are some really basic stretches for your wrist and your hands. So, the first exercise we did will be you just opening your palm and your fingers as wide as you can. You don't need to do them now with me if you don't want to, or you can maybe do them with your non-injured hands so you get the feel of it. So you'll open it as wide as you can, and then we'll go and make a fist. We'll slowly repeat this. I'd like you to repeat it for 10 to 15 repetitions. You should feel, your hand definitely will be stiff at first, but gently do this. If you can't get the whole range of motion, don't force it. The second one is with your hands facing, or excuse me, your palm facing upward again, or outward. You're going to use your other hand to gently pull your fingers back, and you should feel a nice stretch on the upper portion of your hand. Where your metacarpal are, you'll feel the stretch through here. Stop if you're getting any pain, any sharp pain, any issues with your wrist. If you have wrist pain from doing those, stop. That might be another issue that we need to look further into if it hasn't alleviated itself in 2 to 5 days. But outside of that, those are the two, and then there's a final stretch. The final stretch would be facing your palm neutral and then downward and gently pressing on the back of your fingers, and you should feel a nice stretch throughout your wrist and into your forearm. Same thing here with the other exercises. 2 to 15 reps for the opening and closing of your hand to stretch that, and then gently hold the stretch for about 12 to 15 seconds. If you have any questions regarding that, feel free to write in, and I can send you demonstration videos, or we can find something else if you still have stiffness in your wrist or your hand. Can I do anything else for you today, or? Yes, do that 2 to 3 times, as well as the hand opening exercise, where you're stretching and then making a fist, opening and releasing, essentially. I wouldn't do it any more than that, especially given that your hand is still stiff after 2 to 3 days. Here you said after falling. So I would slowly ease into it, but by the end of a full business week, you should be fine and you shouldn't have any issues. If you do, please reach out to contact me again. And we'll go over looking at possibly having you come in if your range of motion hasn't fully returned or it isn't back to 90% at least. So if you have any other questions regarding that. Well, thank you so much, Mr. Cherry. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And if you have any unrelated questions that I can answer for you. All right. Thank you so much. I look forward to hearing from you.